Definitely a lot of concern and a legitimate concern about migrant workers now going back to their respective states. And will they be there without any opportunities to earn their livelihood? So I would like to draw your attention to say that you know that we had announced the increase in the average wage rate from 182 to 202 rupees. I had made an announcement once earlier. Now, the question of these people returning to their states, will they stay without any provisioning? We have already generated 14.62 crore man days or person days of work generated up to 13th May, which is actually 40 to 50% more persons who have got enrolled compared to last May. So when there was no COVID, what was the number? It is at least 30 to 40%, 40 to 50% more than what it was before. We have enrolled all of them. We are making provision through the Rural Development Ministry to ensure that they get enrolled, they get work, they get the due payments. So work offered is now to 2.33 crore wage seekers. I think the data is of yesterday, in about 1.87 lakh gram panchayats. So the migrant workers who are going back, and if in case they are joining the Manrega, there are being actively enrolled and provision through the respective ministries being done, and they are being taken. We've ensured that they're going to be entertained even there. They're not going to be sitting for wanting of some basic work. States and union territories have been advised to provide work to these migrant workers as per the provisions of this Manrega Act. So we are continuing to monitor, and the work during the monsoon will also be actively taken up, whether for plantation, whether for horticulture, whether for livestock related sheds, related building, vagera. So on all of them, these workers who go from here are going to be actively engaged. So I just want that to be made sure. The annual actual expenditure till date is around 10,000 crore. Now, even if it's more, we are making provisioning for that.
जो हमारे प्रवासी मजदूर वापस अपने राज्यों में गए हैं, उनकी भी मदद एमजी नरेगा के माध्यम से कैसे की जाए, उसके लिए भी हम योजना लेकर आए हैं। और अब तक 14 करोड़ 62 लाख पर्सन डेज जनरेट किए जा चुके हैं 13 मई तक, और इस पर कुल खर्चा लगभग 10,000 करोड़ के लगभग किया जा चुका है। जो काम ऑफ़र किया गया है वो 2.33 करोड़ जो काम मांगने वाले हैं उनको कल तक किया गया, और ये लगभग 1,87,000 ग्राम पंचायतों में किया गया है। इसमें 40 से 50% लोगों ने अपनी इनरोलमेंट की है, रजिस्ट्रेशन की है। पिछले साल के मुकाबले, पिछले साल के मई महीने के मुकाबले ज़्यादा लोगों ने की है। यानी कि अगर पिछले साल 100 ने की थी तो इस बार 140-150 लोगों ने की है। उस तरह से उसका आंकड़ा लगभग बड़ा है। और एक विशेष मुहिम पूरे ज़िलों में, देश भर में चलाई जा रही है कि जो वापस यहाँ से हमारे प्रवासी मजदूर गए, अगर वो चाहें तो वहाँ पर भी अपने आप को रजिस्टर कराकर काम ले सकते हैं। और इसके लिए राज्यों और यूनियन टेरिटरीज़ को निर्देश दे दिए गए हैं। और यही नहीं, 182 रुपया जो उनकी दिहाड़ी होती थी अब उसको बढ़ाकर भी 202 रुपये कर दिया गया है।
Again, before I go over to specifying what programs we have for the second tranche, one quick look at some major reform steps which are in the pipeline. You know, the labor codes related matter is in the parliament. Some reports are also with the standing committee. We are committed to making it better for the workers, and the workers' welfare is top on our agenda. I very will quickly run through some of the points. All this is going to be shared with you in any case, but quickly I will highlight the fact that the minimum wages at the moment is applicable only to 30% of all the workers. We want to make it universal. We want to give that right to minimum wage universally to all workers. So that is one of the major things we are working towards, and as you know, it's all discussed in the parliament. It is getting, work is done in the parliament, it is happening there, but I'm giving you some of the highlights. Second is also the regional disparity in minimum wage which exists. We are trying to get over that problem, to get over the disparity which prevails by saying if there can be a national floor wage concept which can be accepted by all the states, so that the disparity which prevails between states of minimum wages can be gotten over. We are also talking about compulsorily giving appointment letters for everybody who is taken in, so that it gets formal, and also making sure annual health checkup is made mandatory for all the employees. Benefits also for workers in the interstate migration of workers, so that nowadays we come to know that workers don't get recruited through an agency or a group, which are normally the groups which bring in unskilled workers. Now employers are directly taking them on, and therefore for that also, coming from various destinations, we want to have a definition of interstate migrant workers. Again, on migrant workers, this will help in defining them better and reaching out benefits to them better. All this is in the parliament. I'm not saying it as a part of this package, but I'm only giving you a clear picture that we are committed towards improving the lot of the workers and making sure that migrant workers and other workers are treated a lot more with their formal benefits reaching them. Portability of welfare benefits is also being contemplated in the parliament for migrant workers. Again, looking at pan-India to all districts, we want to extend the ESIC benefits to all establishments which employ at least 10 people or more, and in some of the notified districts. Looking at also employees, establishment which have less than 10 employees, we want to, at least in a voluntary basis, make sure a ESIC can be extended to them. On a voluntary basis, because they're very small, we don't want to burden them with anything. The other thing that we're looking at is to make it mandatory to have ESIC coverage through notification by the central government for employees who are working in hazardous industries. Because even if they're small and they don't get included, through a central notification, we want to make sure ESIC coverage is given to all those who are working in smaller units but which are engaging in hazardous activities. They get the benefit of ESIC coverage. And social security schemes are being extended even to gig workers and platform workers. That is now urban phenomena, and they should get that coverage. So we want to bring gig workers into it. We're also looking at reskilling of retrenched workers. Now in the context of COVID, this was all designed before, but in the context of COVID, we probably will have a situation where a lot of retrenched workers will need to have a reskilling exercise. And again, all occupations should be opened for women with night working rights, and also there making sure safeguards are provided for all of them. Provision also for social security funds for unorganized workers, and gratuity to be given for fixed term employment. So these are some of the things which are our commitment, which is revealed in the labor codes. 44 labor different acts have all been now compressed with extensive discussions and consultation. I must appreciate the Ministry of Labour, the Minister, Senior Minister Gangwarji, together with the Secretary, have engaged with all strata, all stakeholders, all strata of workers, to make sure that their concerns are addressed, and therefore the possibility of having those 44 laws being reduced to 4 codes. Highlights I've given you are waiting in the Parliament. Our commitment lies in having them passed after discussing in all the standing committees.
लेबर कोड के माध्यम से हम लोग जहां मज़दूरों को लाभ देने जा रहे हैं, अगर आप देखेंगे तो देश में जो न्यूनतम वेतन है वो लगभग 30% वर्कर्स ही उसका लाभ उठा पाते हैं। समय पर उनका वेतन का भुगतान नहीं हो पाता, अनऑर्गेनाइज जो असंगठित क्षेत्र है उसमें ये दिक्कत है। और इसीलिए यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन की जो बात कही गई है कि न्यूनतम वेतन की यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन की जाएगी, पूरे देश भर में एक जैसा उसका हो, कम से कम एक न्यूनतम वेतन गरीब से गरीब मजदूर को मिले, इसके लिए इस कदम को उठाया गया है। और जो क्षेत्रीय असमानता है, जो रीजनल डिस्पैरिटी है न्यूनतम वेतन में, उसको भी इसके माध्यम से दूर किया जाएगा, वैधानिक रूप इसको दिया जाएगा और नेशनल फ्लोर वेज इसमें इंट्रोड्यूस की जाएगी। यही नहीं, जो इसको तय करने के तरीके हैं मिनिमम वेजेस, उसको और सरलीकरण इसका किया जाएगा ताकि इसमें कंप्लायंस ज़्यादा हो और रुकावटें कम हो। नियुक्ति पत्र भी सभी मज़दूरों को मिलेंगे और यही नहीं, साल में एक बार स्वास्थ्य का चेकअप भी होगा, हेल्थ चेकअप भी इनका होगा। और जो खतरनाक क्षेत्र में काम करने वाले, जहाँ खतरा रहता है, ऐसे क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले जिनके काम करते हैं मज़दूर, उनके लिए ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी एंड हेल्थ कोड भी लाया जाएगा जो उनकी सुरक्षा और स्वास्थ्य का ख्याल रखेंगे। यही नहीं, पोर्टेबिलिटी जो है वेलफेयर बेनिफिट्स की, ये भी सभी प्रवासी मज़दूरों को मिलेगी। और ईएसआईसी का लाभ भी, इसका भी पैन इंडिया पूरे देश भर में इसकी कवरेज सभी ज़िलों में हमारे मज़दूरों को मिल पाएगी। चाहे वो इस्टेब्लिशमेंट जो संस्थान है वो 10 से ज़्यादा वाला है या उतने तक का है। और इसके अलावा मैंडेटरी ईएसआईसी कवरेज भी नोटिफिकेशन से माध्यम से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने सभी एम्प्लॉयज़ को जो ऐसे खतरनाक क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले उनके लिए होगी। सोशल सिक्योरिटी स्कीम भी गिग वर्कर्स के लिए और प्लेटफॉर्म वर्कर्स के लिए मिलेगी। रीस्किलिंग करनी बहुत ज़रूरी हो गई है क्योंकि जो लोग वापस गए हैं काम करने के लिए, उनको वापस उनको स्किल प्रदान करके वहाँ पर उनका कैसे लाभ मिल सके, रोज़गार मिल सके, इस दिशा में भी काम किए जाएंगे। और सोशल सिक्योरिटी फंड का भी असंगठित क्षेत्र के लिए प्रावधान करने का हम प्रयास करेंगे, प्रोविज़न किया जाएगा। और जो महिलाओं के लिए कामकाज के क्षेत्र खुले हैं, उसमें रात्रि के समय अगर काम करना पड़ता है, ड्यूटी करनी पड़ती है, तो उसमें सेफगार्ड्स अलग अलग तरह के लाए जाएंगे।